Hi guys, welcome to my channel Incredible Anyway. I'm Kelly, and if you're having a hard time coping with all of the changes that are happening in our world right now that are really serious and hard to deal with, stay tuned because I am uniquely qualified to give you wisdom on how to get through this period of time that is scary for a lot of people and really challenging. I think most people look at my life and go, that's a horrible life, I would never want her life. I think I have a pretty darn good life, and that is a perspective change, and it did not happen overnight. I learned how to cope with a really hard limitations that now the world is living with, and I learned how to get through it. And I'm gonna share the wisdom, if you will, the gems, the kernels of insight that I've gained over 15 years over this next series of videos. I'm still gonna be doing my update videos. I'm still gonna be doing vlog videos. I realize that I have a lot to share, and a lot of the people who watch my channel have a lot to share because you all have experienced this too. So I really encourage you guys to go in the comments. I'm gonna give you a question every time so people who do have insight can share. Listen, you're not alone. A lot of people are going through what you're going through, and I find a lot of comfort knowing that I'm not alone in the feelings that I'm feeling, because it's good to know that other people get it and other people understand. I've defined the word warriortude as meaning being determined to live an incredible life anyway. And what I mean by that is it's knowing that life can be really hard and challenging and suffering, and also being able to find the good and live it as a really good life, even though everything is in chaos. Life is crazy, life is painful, but also you have a good life. The way that I'm uniquely qualified to share about this is that I have been living for the last 15 years a life that's very similar to the life that now so many people are living as a result of what's happening in the world. 15 years ago, I had been working professionally as a speech language pathologist, and I loved it. I was the happiest I had ever been in my life. I had a great group of friends, went to church with them. We would hang out, have a great time together on the weekends, and I had just gotten engaged. I mean, I was on cloud nine, and suddenly, like that, everything changed. I became disabled by severe chronic health issues, and it was shocking. It was something that I never expected, never thought that that would happen in my life, and I didn't know how to cope. I kept hoping that it would change. I certainly didn't expect it to last for 15 years. My life changed in a significant way. The nature of my health issues made it so that I couldn't be around people. I couldn't go to church. I couldn't go to work anymore, period. That was a huge loss in my life. So I all of a sudden was home all the time. I couldn't go out and hang out with my friends, go to parties. I was missing out because I couldn't go anywhere. My life was shockingly very small. All of a sudden, I wasn't a part of life like I had normally been. It was a huge, hard, devastating change in my life. What is happening in the world and happening in so many people's lives right now is the very same thing that happened in my life. This huge change of all of a sudden having to social distance, all of a sudden not being able to go out, go to restaurants, go to church, go to work, having to stay home all day with kids. The dentist is shut down, hair salons, a lot of people have lost their jobs. I'm not trying to increase your anxiety, just to speak to the things that we're going through as a society and show you that it's very similar to what I have lived with the last 15 years. I really get the fear people are feeling. I get the sadness, the loss, wondering what's gonna happen. Is this gonna change? How long is this gonna be for? Is it gonna get better? Being angry. All of these emotions that are coming up. Of course they would. How could they not? It's life. This is a big, huge, traumatic thing that's happened. In this video, I kind of wanted to just get you started. And the first thing that I would say is to be aware that you're going through a grieving process. I think a lot of times people think of grief as just this like, oh, the crying emoji, you know? That's not necessarily grief. Grief is this journey, and there are different stages in it. Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And the journey is not a linear line. It can be those out of order. It can be back and forth and upside down. And it can't be rushed through, unfortunately, but it is something that is very real. And I think it's really important to realize that not only are you going through this journey, but a lot of other people are going through it. And it's time to have compassion for ourselves, and it's time to have compassion for other people. Because if you realize that somebody is really having a hard time with the way that their life has changed, you're going to realize that they're going to be angry, possibly, that they're going to be really sad, that they're going to maybe be in denial and not necessarily seeing things as they are. Giving them understanding that that's what they are, and let them be there and give them support as they walk through this. And we're all going to be at different places, of course, but I think it's really important to be easy on ourselves, because sometimes when stuff like this happens, we get a little bit, in the past, I've gotten irritated with myself. Why am I acting like this? Kelly, come on, snap out of it. It's okay if you don't snap out of it. It's okay. This is a journey we're on, and eventually hopefully get to acceptance, but it's okay to be in the throes of grief. Not one pattern, nobody does it the same. Usually people do it differently. Just realizing that that's where we are. Something that really has helped me cope is to laugh. And that's what the question of the day is. I want to know what makes you laugh. It could be anything. For me, I love the Golden Girls. I know that there's a lot of comedy shows out there. What makes you laugh? Book, person, joke, keep it clean. But anything. I want to hear in the comment section what makes you laugh. Something that can be really nourishing to our souls is to get outside. Get outside more than once and take in a big breath of air. Get some vitamin D, walk around your yard, walk around your apartment complex. Sometimes that can help us to connect with the earth, realize that we're not just in this weird box space of our house, and that we're not just floating out there. We're actually connected to the earth and to people. And go hug a tree. You know, that sounds weird, but especially I have learned in my isolation, and when I could get out and could actually walk to a tree, just being able to touch and realize, okay, this is real life. Life is still out there, and I find the earth can really bring me a lot of peace. That's why I like to watch sunsets and sunrises, because it just connects me to something outside of myself. I'm a person of faith, which many of you know. My faith is really grounded me in what has given me the peace in my life. I think a lot of times people who are Christians will kind of pick verses out of the Bible, because when you're afraid, you want to find a verse that is comforting. There are a lot of them. I really encourage you to read through books of the Bible or read through chapters of the Bible, because when we just pick out the verses, we are disconnected from the story, which is the intent. Those stories can be really deeply encouraging. If you're somebody who's not into the Bible or maybe hasn't been into it, check it out. Maybe it's different than what you expected it would be. Another thing that is really helpful for me is to realize what I do have control over, because right now a lot of things are out of our control, and realizing what we have control over can be really empowering. Something that really gives me a sense of control is realizing that I am in control of my breath, and that is so integral to who we are. Meditating and slowing down my breathing has significantly affected my life and my health issues. I love this app called Calm, C-A-L-M. It is a meditation mindfulness app. I love it. There's a free section. There's also a paid section, which I find very valuable. Being able to focus on our breathing can really bring us to the present, to the here and now, which is important when we're experiencing anxiety or fear. And realizing that, okay, I'm in control of my breath. Breathing in for 4 counts, holding it for 4 counts, and blowing out. So in through the nose, hold, out through the mouth, and slowing it down as you go. That can be a very simple thing. Realizing that we have control over something. And even though that seems like a little thing, that's a big thing. When you don't have control of your breathing, you know it's a big thing. When you have an anxiety attack or panic attack, you know. The last thing I'm going to share here is, I think when you're out and you're working, or you go out to restaurants, you go out and do things, you don't realize how much you talk to other people, and how much when you are at home, you don't get that interaction. And maybe you have people at home, but maybe your partner's not very talkative. Maybe you're tired of talking with the kids. They don't give you what you need. And maybe talking with the kids about how you feel is not really appropriate. Reaching out online or calling your friend more than texting. I think sometimes texting is great, do it, but also really hearing a voice can be really important. Maybe FaceTiming, seeing their face too. These tools that we have are really great for when we're in this social distancing isolation. When we're by ourselves a lot, sometimes our thinking can be off. Sometimes we can kind of, I guess, ruminate about things, think about things over and over, and maybe things become bigger than they are or become scarier than they are, because we kind of get our brains into this bad cycle of thinking, and we maybe have catastrophic thinking. I think it's really important to be aware that when we're alone and a lot of hard things are going on, that can happen. Reaching out to other people, talking about it can sometimes make us realize that, oh, wait, no, that didn't make sense. That wasn't right. In this type of situation, people can become hopeless. And if you are feeling hopeless, if you're feeling like harming yourself, please reach out to a friend, talk to somebody, family, a loved one, somebody that cares about you. And if you don't feel comfortable telling them, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Those people are awesome and are used to hearing people talk about that type of thing. They will be able to help you. Your life is worth it. Your life is valuable. Sometimes things can feel really overwhelming, but it is possible to get through. Believe me, I know I may not understand your specific challenges, but even though when life is unbearably hard, it is still possible to get through it and come out on the other side. I like to use the analogy of even when the clouds are covering the sun and it's impossible to see, the sun is still there, right? And eventually the sun comes out. Things will get better. Things will improve. It's just a matter of when. Keep that hope. Hold on to it. If you have questions, put them in the comment section. If you have requests, put them in the comment section. But like I said, I have a lot of ideas. I know that it's really, really hard right now, and that's why I'm making these videos. And I hope that what I have learned will give you some hope, will give you some ability to feel more in control, even though there's a lot of things out of control, and to be able to find that incredible life anyway. Remember, you're not alone. Don't forget the question of the day. Go put in the comments, what makes you laugh? I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching. Go live your incredible anyway.